First, let me explain why people get deviated nasal septums. Let's start with some basic anatomy. The word septum means a dividing wall. You have many other septums in your body as well. Your nasal septum is the midline plate of the cartilage and bone that separates the right and left sides of your nose. The front part is what's called the quadrangular cartilage. This is what you can feel when you wiggle your nose. Towards the back on top is the perpendicular plate of the ethmoids, which is a bony plate. Along the bottom towards the back is a triangular piece of bone called the vomer. Now I'm going to describe why people have deviated nasal septums, something that you won't see or hear about anywhere else. As you'll see, it makes total sense. Most doctors learn that it's from trauma to the nose during birth coming out of the birth canal, but we see people with deviated septums all the time who are born by C-section. Plus, in general, you don't see deviated septums until you're a teenager or an adult. You can also believe that any kind of physical trauma can cause a deviated septum, such as being punched in the face, but that's been shown to cause buckling of the septum in a vertical direction like this. Most deviated septums curve horizontally like this. So what you see is that the most severe part of the deviation happens where the cartilage and the vomer meet on this line. So what causes this to happen if there's no trauma? In my book, Sleep Interrupted, I read about how modern humans, from a change in our eating habits and infant feeding methods, our jaws are shrinking and our teeth are getting much more crowded. This is why younger people these days have more triangular lower faces. If you look at some of the movie stars before the 1950s, you see that they had very wide faces compared to more modern faces. I talk about all the different reasons in my video why your face is shrinking, which I'll link to below in the description box. This is why it's a given that almost everyone will need their wisdom teeth taken out, whereas over 100 years ago, this was rare. And now it's a given that you'll need braces. So how does this lead to a crooked septum? During early normal development, the upper molar should widen as the roof of your mouth, the hard palate should drop like this. With modern faces, this isn't happening as much, so you're left with narrow jaws and a high arched palate. Inside the nose, the nasal septum sits on the middle of the hard palate called the maxilla. If the hard palate doesn't drop, then as the septum grows, it buckles to one side. And where it buckles is a junction along the upper border of the vomer where it meets the cartilage towards the front and the ethmoid bone in the back. This video clip is from my more in-depth training revealing 7 long-term ways to clear your stuffy nose for good. If you're tired of trying all the tips and hacks you find online that only works for a few minutes, watch this video right now.